Hi everyone, Katarina from Bloom and Passion here. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful triple cube pop-up box card. Okay, it folds flat into an envelope or a little box, and once it's lifted out it really does its own thing, so it won't be hard to figure out for anyone that receives this what to do with it. Now, I was asked to make a card for a little girl who loves unicorns and butterflies, so that's what I did. Little unicorns and all the colorful butterflies. Now, to create this card, the papers and the clip art files that I used are from two separate bundles, and they are both from Etsy, from the same seller. The seller's name is Scrapbook Gems. I will link to their shop below. One of the bundles is the springtime bundle, the other one is the Unicorn Magic Clip Art and Papers kit. Now, I bought the two of them because the unicorn one didn't have the butterflies, and I wanted the matching colors, and also I thought I will get the two of them and I will surely use them again, so it's not gonna go to waste. And to be honest, the price point is really good for both of these bundles. I'm just looking at the price, it's £2.53 each, pounds sterling, but it allows for commercial use, so that's a win-win for me, because unless an Etsy seller allows for commercial use, I wouldn't purchase their items. If I want to sell it, I don't want to get into any troubles. Now, the papers that I used are from the Unicorn Magic bundle, except the back one in there. I don't know if you can pick up those butterflies on that one. I wanted to kind of incorporate that one into it too. So I'm going to use exactly the same kits to make my next card, only I changed the colors. Instead of the lilac, I'm going to use pinks. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I made mine. Okay, so for the main card base, we will need 3 pieces of paper. One that measures 11.5, no, sorry. Yeah, 11.5 by 5.5, and 2 that measure 11.5 by 2 3/4. Okay, and we are going to score them all exactly the same way. On the 11.5 side at 2 3/4, 5.5, 8 1/4, and 11. And the same for the smaller bits, 2 3/4, 5.5, 8 1/4, and 11, and do that just to all 3 pieces. Okay, now we will need 2 pieces of cardstock. One of them will measure 1 inch by 3.5, and the other one will measure 5 inches by 1. Okay, on the 5-inch one I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, 2.5, and 4.5, and on the smaller bit, on the 3.5 inch side, we will measure score at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, and at 3 inches. These bits will be the ones going inside in the card there, to which we will attach all our little clip arts. Okay, so this is it for the scoring. I'm going to put this to the side now. I'm going to fold and burnish these first of all, and then I will talk you through the mats and layers as well. Now, what I like to do on these little tabs, I just like to take a little bit off on each end. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little glue to these tabs and fold this over, making sure it's all nice and square. Now, so once they are nice and dry, I'm going to glue this to the taller bit of the cube. Okay, I like to keep the fold to the back, but that really is just my personal preference. You don't have to do that. So I'm just gonna add glue, plenty of glue onto the back of this one here. And make sure I line it up nicely onto the bottom and onto the sides. I'm going to hold it just in place for a minute, just to make sure it's all stays together, and all while I'm making sure that it's all nice and square. This will ensure that the card will fold flat nicely once it's all assembled together. Okay, and the same to the other side. Find the joint. Okay, so while I'm going to set this aside a bit to dry, I'm going to talk you through the mats and layers that I use. So you will need 10 pieces of what I use, the white cardstock, but these are the mats, 2.5 squared, and we'll need 10 pieces of them. And the decorative paper on top, the layers, measure 2.25 inches squared. Okay, so there's 10 of them, and we will need 2 that measure 5.25 by 2.5 inches, and the decorative paper on the top measures 5 by 2.25. Now these 2 are again from the springtime collection, while all the others I printed out of the Unicorn Magic clipart and paper collection. So again, mixing them a bit. The clip arts that I'm going to use are again from both. The butterflies and are from the spring collection. There's all different butterflies in here, and the unicorns, the balloons, the rainbows, these I don't know, candy floss thing is, I don't know what that is. They are all from the Unicorn collection. We'll see. I'm not going to use these all, just some of them. We'll decide as I go. Okay, so now what we are going to do, glue all these mats and layers onto the base of the box. Now it's nice and dry. So these 2 larger ones are going to go inside and the back. These 2 are gonna go on the front in here. Now you can use all the same papers, you don't have to use all different ones. I just thought that for these unicorn ones, this look beautiful. And also you can change the theme to this card. You can use flowers, you can use anything. I made a lot of these before, well, a lot of these, a good few of these, as new baby cards. You know, decorated with teddy bears and all different new baby items. Or for christenings, made them too. Now this is the front face decorated. We could stop there, but I like to add decorations just to these 2 walls at the back one and the bottom one. I mean, don't need to, because this is sturdy enough already as it is. I'm using heavyweight cardstock for all my cards, but I think it just adds to it and I think it looks nice. So I'm going to add some more papers inside. Once everything is nice and set and dry, we're going to add these little pieces at the back. So I'm going to fold and burnish the score lines that we made on them. I'm going to fold them in, and then the 2 ends I'm going to fold out. Okay, I'm just going to burnish those as well. and again the same one and this one in, and then out. Okay, so to add this into the card, but making sure that it will still fold flat once it's in it, like this, I'm going to line up the middle line, the middle score line, with this fold in here. Okay, so adding the glue onto the two sides of the tabs, this one as well. I'm making sure that this bit lines up in the middle, and just very nicely and carefully I fold this over and smooth it down. Now this way I know that it will get stuck where it needs to get stuck for it to be able to fold flat, yet still pops up with the card once we open it up. Okay, so I'm gonna do exactly the same thing with the next one, only in this time I'm going to line the score line up to this score line in here. Okay, again, okay, so now it's all nice, set and dry, folds flat. This is where the fun begins. We can start decorating. Now to decorate this the same way as I did in here, I use little acetate strips. Okay, so for the acetate strips I already added this red tape on one side of them, and I'm just going to cut with thin lines of this, about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. It really will depend on the weight of the acetate you're using and the weight of the embellishments that you're going to add. Now, mine are quite lightweight. These are just paper, and they are small, so I don't really need anything too wide in terms of the acetate strips. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna add the rainbow to the back again. In here you just have to keep in mind that your card measures 5.5 inches tall. Okay, so you line it up to your grid and you see how far up you can go with your decorations. Now I'm making personalized boxes for this anyway, so I really don't mind going up higher, but if you are going to use an envelope, then make sure that you're not gonna go above the size of your envelope. Okay, oops, push it back, there we go. Now I'm going to take the red tape bit off this, going to attach it to the rainbow, and this will be going on to the back. Now I'm gonna stay about that high there. Also, what you want to make sure, if the size of the box or envelope matters that you're using, that you're not gonna go out onto the sides of it, because then again you will need a bigger box or a bigger envelope. Now I'm just going to take some of this red tape, try to find the end of it. Now I'm going to see how far I want to go down, and I will hold my finger in there, so in about there I'm gonna add my tape. I can cut the excess of it and just add my rainbow to where I like it sitting. Okay, like that. It's perfect. All right, so that's really what I'm going to do to the rest of them as well. card ready. Okay, now to add your message, you can put 2 pieces of 5 1/4 by 2 1/2 white paper on the back, and you have plenty of room to write your message in there. Also, if you would like to add a little sentiment at the front, then all you need to do is like I've printed out this name. This is Orla 5. Now take a piece of paper that measures 1/2 inch by 3 inches and score on each end at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Turn around and again score at 1/2 inch and 1 inches. Fold them in and then fold the other sides out, so you kind of get this shape. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this. Oh, it's a bit clogged in. Should have put the lid back on it. Okay, so just adding glue onto those 2 tabs at the end, and I'm going to add it onto the 2 sides of the score line, not on the score line, on the 2 sides of it, like this. Now, if I were to put this, oh, there's a piece of white, oh, sorry, red backing of the glue is so static. I really don't like it. It's just keep cleaning it forever and ever. Okay, so once that's set, you can add your glue onto that bit and glue the sentiment on top of it. Now I'm not going to do this because this is just printed. This is just a mock-up I printed out. Okay, so there you go, and that's how it would look like. I think it's cool. I bring the lilac one back in comparison. I think they both look lovely. Magical cards. Okay, so I hope you liked my tutorial, guys, today, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new tutorial. Also, until the next time, bye!